Okay, so now using this particular API, you can perform an apps initialization. Okay, just execute this one. I'm an anonymous block completed. Now I'll try to see the data from PO headers table, PO headers synonym, whatever it is. Still, we have not got it right. So there is one particular one
Hmm.
more thing you have to do it. There is something called MO profile enable. So let us get that out. So we just need to mention global apps installation and call the multi-org underscore global dot init. So actually this particular MO underscore global package was introduced in the R12. Initially it was not there in the R11. In the R11 only this FND
Okay.
global apps initialization was enough. But in the R12 you require MO underscore global also. Now what you have to do is if
Okay.
you want to test it a synonym. So when you say synonym without underscore all, okay? If you want to test a
Hmm.
synonym, and if you want to get a data of that specific stuff, what you can do is now if you just see, just observe here, if you just see distinct organization ID, you'll get only one organization ID. Org ID, I guess.
Yeah. All good.
204. Why I'm getting
Yes.
204? Because for that responsibility, this organization parameter was set up. That's the reason you're getting only that organization ID here.
Yes.
That's it. And in your query, what you have to do, whatever the query which you have designed, if you want to run, you just need to mention in your query, just remove underscore all table. You just need to remove
Huh.
this particular condition, and where you can just mention arg id is equal to fnd underscore profile dot value of arg underscore id. That's it. This is what I was telling you right yesterday.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I have to remove headers all, right? Only alls I have to remove.
Even if you keep headers underscore also, it's not a problem, but generally that is not a practice.
Okay.
Yeah, either way it will work. Either way it will work. If you are using, let us say, if you're directly using pivot headers table, there is no need to mention the where condition at all. You require where
Okay.
condition for org id only if you are mentioning underscore all.
Okay.
That is the thing. If you are using underscore all, you have to mention this one. If you are simply using PO headers, there is no need to mention org condition at all, because apps initialization will happen automatically and your RLS will be executed according to that.
And the parameter should be
What parameter
in
again?
concurrent.
You doesn't need to select any concurrent program for organization ID.
Okay.
You have to, that is what I'm telling you. Decide whether you want to use underscore all or whether pivot headers table, which table you want to use. If you want to use pivot headers, go with this condition.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
And if you want to use pivot headers all, you have to mention this condition. And in the parameter, why does you want to select the use? If see, I'll tell you a scenario. If you so it all depends upon the requirement. There is no ideal solution for this particular case. Some business requirement is that, let us say, simple example is you want to design a custom PO report. And some business users say that I just need a custom PO report and provide me organization name as a parameter. I would like to select it manually. This is one
Okay.
scenario. And some particular customers say that you design a PO report, don't allow me to select
Hmm.
custom or don't allow me to select any organization, just display the content according to the current organization based on a responsibility. So what is your requirement?
Okay.
First is requirement or second one is your requirement? You decide first that.
First, both. Wait a minute. Custom PO problems manually. Custom PO. Second one.
Current organization based on
Second one.
responsibility. Then there is no parameter, right? There is no need to select. There is no need to provide any provision for the selection of an organization, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to you have to get this, but you have to get the organization ID of organization ID of a responsibility by default. So how do you do it? So if you want to use underscore all table, use this condition. If you want to use pivot headers table, it doesn't need to mention any condition at all. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you are using underscore all, you need to mention this condition. If you are not using underscore all table, simply use pivot headers. That's it. It will solve that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we can try the same thing. Like I'll try to provide the same report now. What we can do is let us design a purchase order report. Okay. And
Hmm.
in this case, what we do is we'll try to provide a parameter. Okay. Parameter for org ID, org, and Other one is selection of a pivot number. Two
Okay.
parameters. And again a dependent parameter. Okay. So first thing what I
Hmm.
do is I'll try to design parameters independently and then we'll make them as dependent. Okay.
Yes.
So let us design the query first. So select start from, I'm using pivot headers all as of now.
Okay.
And what we do, what all we require, pivot header ID, segment 1, type lookup code, creation date, okay, vendor ID. Okay, I can
Hmm.
try
Okay.
to, yeah, we can display. Let us display the vendor name also.
Yes. Vendor ID is POT.
Right? That's it, right? This is our
Yeah.
query.
Good.
So I'm not passing
Yes.
any condition as of now, but what we have to do is we require two parameters, right? And again, we have to decide
Hmm.
whether which is mandatory. The general requirement
Okay.
is always two things should be mandatory, right? In this particular PO report, mostly like organization should be mandatory because you'll get huge amount of data, as well as PO number also should be
Yeah.
mandatory generally. Whether you want to
Okay.
consider range, in our case, we'll try to consider a single parameter, no range. Okay.
Okay.
So what we require, poh dot org underscore
Or
id
get
is equal to p underscore org underscore id and poh dot
segment one.
no poh id.
Acha, header ID you're taking. Okay.
Generally, we'll never pass the numbers. We have to pass always IDs.
Okay.
Okay. Let
Okay.
us say, yeah, this is how it will work. As of now, we'll not get any
Okay.
data because we have not passed anything. So this is our query.
Yes.
Let us design this. Right. So
Yeah.
save the report first. Take the query. Take the SQL. Mention this one. And generally, what happens is if you mention colon with the parameter name, automatically the parameter name automatically it will create these two parameters with appropriate data types.
Yeah. By default.
And here, if you observe
Yes.
carefully, I am passing organization ID, not organization name. And here also, if you observe, I am passing PO header ID, not PO number.
Number. Yeah.
Okay.
So in real time, we are not going to pass PO number neither organization name, right?
It depends. That's what. It depends upon your query. How do you design? If you want to pass,
Okay.
we can pass it.
Okay.
But general thinking
Okay.
logic is generally we never pass the numbers. We need to pass always
Oh,
IDs.
IDs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that PO number is unique? In a PO table, PO
No,
number is not unique. Header ID is unique.
not unique. Yes.
Header ID is a
Yes.
primary key, right? So then you have to
Yes.
understand that like what is the need of primary key? It will create index on that. So your retrieval will be faster. When you design any queries, always you have to consider about the performance. It's
Yes.
not just a UI because the responsive time of your report should be faster enough. We need to avoid
Yeah.
wherever like these all basic conditions so that your report will run in a faster manner.
Yes.
And now these are the parameters, user parameters. These got created automatically, and you just check out the data type also. Org ID will be in, yeah, here it is. It's showing character, right? And it is also showing character.
Yes.
So generally, this will not make
Yes.
any issue. This will not make any issue. Okay, we can ignore this, or we can just set it to
Okay.
number. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now let's get into our layout. So generally these RDF reports are the new reports. Whenever we design, we never prefer RDF report because designing a layout is very difficult in the RDF,
Yes.
and it takes time, and there are many what you say, like it's very old kind of technology, I can say, rather than that. So of course there are some particular functionalities which are very much good in the RDF, but the thing is now nobody prefers to design. So mention the group name
Yeah.
and mention the parameters. Create the fields. Okay. So I'll go with vendor name, vendor name, then P1 number,
Yeah.
then PO type, and what is the other thing we have? Creation date.
Type lookup code also.
Yeah, PO type I mentioned.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Okay. Now this is
Yeah.
the thing, and here what we can do. Let us take one. Okay, PO header ID. I'll just try to mention one and just try to validate the report.
Okay.
P204 and 1. I'm passing IDs
Yeah.
here,
Yes.
right? We got the data, simple.
Yeah.
And we can mention the column headers also.
Yes.
Supplier name, PO type, creation date. That's it. 204 and 1. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's it. Compile, save it. Now, okay, go to the appropriate top. Depends upon your registration. So I'll go to FND top because I'll try to register with the application module as application object library. So I'll just pass a report here. Okay, so go to application developer, concurrent executable, application object library, mention the report name, save it. Now go to concurrent program. Here you mention the output type as PDF, A4. Now application as, sorry, object library, mention the short name, mention the appropriate user-friendly name, save it. And now we need to mention the parameters. If you have designed a report with parameters, make sure that you pass the parameters. Else you may get the unexpected output or it may error out also. Click on parameters. Now what we do is initially I'll not design any value sets. I'll try to use the seeded value sets. So mention the sequence. I'll go with
Okay.
the 10. And what is the parameter name?
PORG ID
Yeah,
and PO header ID.
PORG ID, PO org ID. So this is a number, right? So I'll just go with the 10 number as my data type value set.
Yeah.
So select your name. So the data type, nothing but validate. See, value set is nothing but kind of a data type for the list of values you pass at runtime to a concurrent program. Okay. So
Okay.
here I'm trying to use. See, the basic thing is the system has to know that what value you want to pass. That is what a value set is all
Okay.
about.
Yes.
Okay. Now let us mention the other second parameter. And in the sequence, you always go with start with 5, 10 kind of thing. Don't start with 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. Okay? Why? Because
Okay.
generally in the real time, what happens is like the requirements will never get freeze. It goes on changing sometime. It depends on the client also, but always like most
Okay.
of the times, let us say if you're designing 20 components, out of 20, at least 2 components will require a redesign. So that is why
Okay.
what you do is if you mention the sequence like this, so you can simply change, you can just add up a sequence, like let us say you have already 2 parameters, and if you want to add up another parameter, if you can just simply mention it as 15, automatically it will come in the second position rather than
Yes.
rearranging everything.
Yeah.
This is how we generally prefer to do it.
Okay.
And this token name has to match with your parameter name, else it will not work.
Yes.
Select
Yeah.
PO number.
Number. Yeah.
Okay.
Turn number. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
Yeah.
Save it.
Yeah.
Go to system administrator, concurrent request group. Now it all depends upon which responsibility you want to assign. So did we? Acha, we are not sure, right? What is the name of that? Find out the name of that. Purchase super user.
All reports.
All reports purchasing. Okay.
Yes.
All reports purchasing. Okay.
Yeah.
Now go to purchasing super user. Right. Select OU name. So, but here, what I have to pass?
Hmm.
I define a value set which is of number data type. Right. I'll just
Yeah.
simply need to pass 204. I need to pass org ID, not organization name. But I'll try to design a value set where user will select organization name. Okay. Observe carefully.
Yes.
Click on OK. Submit. So whatever is showing you here, this is what getting passed to your program. Remember this. It's not about selection, but always observe what is getting paused also.
Yeah.
Okay. Check out the output.
Hmm.
Got it? Of course, the font is the issue,
Yeah.
but yeah,
No. Yeah. Got it.
that's it. So now what we do,
Tables.
let me change this.
Okay.
So now we'll add up the value sets.
Yes.
So now first what we have to do is for organization, we need to define a value set. So I would like to
Yeah.
go with the first approach. I want user to select the organization ID. I want user to select organization ID. Okay. So now,
Okay.
and one more thing is I need to pass organization ID to my program, not the organization name. So
Name.
select
Okay.
start from HR operating units.
Greetings.
Okay. And what all
Yeah.
require? Organization ID and name.
Name. Yeah.
So to which model it is belonging to? It belonging to apps as a synonym. It's a view actually,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, there is a owner called HR. Okay, fine. So now go to application developer. Now create a
Yes.
value set. application validation set.
That's
So I'll just say PO org ID is my valid set name, and I'll
okay.
just go with 25 and table valid set.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Resources.
Human resources.
HR organizations. Units.
It's not there, right?
No, it's not there.
HR all organization units. I think this also will work, right? It shows all organization units, but we require only operating units, right?
Yes.
Right? There is some difference between.
All organization and particular operating units. Yeah.
So HR all organization units will have the both the things like organization. What you say like inventory org as well as the manufacturing org. OUs as well as the inventory org also it will have it. There is some particular parameter using here somewhere there is a condition I guess type.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah,
what
there is
1
a
minute.
type. Yeah.
Anyway, so what we can do is still I'll just remove this. I'll just go with our
All objects.
um, so the only thing is generally the always the best thing is if you select table name from here, the advantage is that like whatever you like it doesn't need to whenever you select you can select the parameters here. You can select the column names here, but now it doesn't show. The reason is the table name what you selected is not available. Okay, it's not about table
Yes.
name, but when you select table application then only it will work, else it will not work. But still what we can do
Yes.
is so here in the value set there are three things, right? Value, meaning and ID. So whatever you mention in the value that will be shown to the user. For the user what do you want to show? You want to show name, right? You have to mention name here.
Yes.
And now what is the data type? Data size 25. So always
25.
try to check out the size also because this particular issue, this particular thing will always make a bigger issue in the real time.
Okay.
Because we never expect that the length of a particular thing is so much big, and like a value set will mention with the size, and that will raise a bigger issue. So now in our case it's 34, right? We mentioned 25. It generally raises an issue. Make it as 50. Okay. What I can do is before that, I'll make 50 here also.
Yes.
And now we have to do it 50. Yeah, this is perfect. And now meaning is nothing but so when you select a value set, the right side it will show a particular name. That is a meaning. So meaning generally is not mandatory. Okay. Now
Okay.
value ID is also not mandatory, but we require ID in our case. Mention the ID,
Okay.
organization ID,
Okay.
because this is whatever you mention in the ID. This will get passed to your concurrent program.
Okay.
Now where condition we don't have anything as of now. We'll just save it.
Hmm.
Okay. Now
All
what
right.
we do is let us go to our concurrent program. As of now, I'll define only one value set, and later on I'll try to do the other one.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
That's it, and make it as required also.
Yeah.
We would have assigned better. It is better to assign to application developer also,
Hmm.
because generally during development stage, it is always better to assign the report to your application developer group, so that it doesn't need to go to other responsibility every time.
Yes.
Right? Got it?
Yes.
Vision operations. Right? Vision operations I selected, and this size we can decrease as of now, but let it be. P1
Okay.
number I'll select. P1 number still I am passing ID. PO ID
Header ID.
I'm passing header ID.
Yeah.
So now here I
Yes.
selected vision operations, but see what will get passed. Click on submit and see the difference. Can you see? Is it passing 204 or
Yeah.
vision operations?
Org ID is passing.
That is what, right?
Okay. Yeah.
This is how you have to define design the value sets.
Analysis.
Never pass the names. In very rare case
Names.
scenarios, then you have to pass it.
Yes.
In your case, PO number range is there. PO number range is there. So you have to pass PO number only. PO header ID you cannot pass it.
Yes.
Because header ID, there is no relation between your header ID and P1 number, right? So P1 number can be P1 number. Let us say P1 number is A04, and your header ID could be some other thing. And because you will be ordering the data based on your P1 number, not P1 header ID.
Yeah.
So you have to pass P1 number only in your case. Now the next thing is, let us design the value set for our P1 number.
I didn't get you. What I didn't get you last thing what you're telling. I didn't get you that.
See,
Hello.
in the database, you're not
Hmm.
sure how the data will get arranged, right? Let us say you have
Yes.
ID and P1 number like this. Your
Yes.
ID is 10, your P1 number is ABC123, and assume
Okay.
that you have a P1 number 20, and the
Hmm.
P1 number is A. Now, if you sort the data, what will happen? A will come first, ABC1234 will come later. And how do
Yes.
you pass the IDs? You cannot pass the IDs, right? You have to pass P1 number
Yes.
only.
Yeah.
That is what I'm saying. You need to pass P1 number in your case when you have a range.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll define the other value set for the P1 number purpose. What was this value set? Yeah, this is my existing value set. So now we need to design. First of all, we'll design the independent value set.
Yes.
Okay, let us design the dependent value set only, because if you don't pass, what will happen? If you don't pass the organization ID, it will provide you all the list of numbers which are there throughout your instance.
Instant.
Now,
Yes.
so what is the only basic thing is, for the dependent value set, you just need to pass the previous value set name. So how do you pass it?
Sorry. Okay. 3.
Okay, PO number, right? This is my value set, new value set.
Okay. You're creating. Okay. Dependent. You're creating.
Yeah, I'm creating dependent
Okay.
table. So I can mention table application here, purchasing.
Yes.
PO headers. And what value I need to show to the user? I have to show P1 number to the user.
Yes.
Okay. Exam size must be no longer than the table value says. Okay. And ID, P header ID. That's
Yes.
it. And now we need to mention the where condition. What where condition I have to mention? Where org ID is equal to dependent value set, right?
Yeah.
Colon dollar flex dot.
That's all.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Colon dollar flex dollar, or
Dollar flex dollar.
yeah, colon dollar flex dollar dot your previous value set name.
Yeah.
That's it. Test it. Okay, this got
Yeah.
validated. Save it. Take your PO number. Now go to concurrent program. Now change it and make it as required.
Yes.
That's it. So now try to run the report. And can you see now the second particular parameter was grayed out. Until unless you select the first parameter, it will not get enabled. Begin
Yes.
operations and select the PO number. These are all PO numbers, right? I selected PO number as
Yes.
1063. Let's see what it will get passed. Right? 457.
Yes. Yes.
4517.
Org ID. Yeah.
204.
Org ID, and we are getting as a PU number.
PO ID. I'm passing PO ID. 4517 is PO ID.
As a PO header ID. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is how we have to design the value sets.
Let's see.
Check out now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. We're getting.
Right. And if you want to validate later, say like it is showing 4517, right? But if you want to
Hmm.
validate whether what I selected, click on view details and you can find out that, right?
Yeah.
1063. So it is
Yeah.
getting tallied, right,
10.
with my output 1063.
Yes.
Okay. So this is how we can design a dependent value sets.
Okay.
It goes on, there is, it can have like a now, let us say you have two parameters, B is dependent on A. You may also have three parameters, which let us A, B, C. C is dependent on D. C may depend upon A and B also, right? So then that we can
Yeah.
just go on like that. Okay.
Okay.
So value sets are very much important for the concurrent program. Very, very, very much important. So when you define value sets, the basic thing is value sets you cannot change. Once you create, you cannot change. So
Yeah, we
always when
cannot
you
change.
when you design your query, identify what do you want to pass, whether you want to pass IDs or names, whatever it is. And one more thing is when you design your logic with the dates, always validate what is the format of date it is getting passed. That is again a different issue in the concurrent program. Okay,
Okay.
so let us say if you are not clear what is the way it is passing, just simply try to run the report and try to find out what format it is passing and design your query accordingly. Simple.
Okay.
Okay. Another one
Yeah.
more issue also I'll tell you. When you like so do you know preference here? Just observe here. Now for a user, just observe here. Like there is something called preference here. Preference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is that? Yeah. This one. Preference. Click on this one.
Yeah.
So why I'm telling this, because if you let us say if you're designing a reports for your UAE customer, the Y customer, they will have this particular date format in a different manner. Now for us, it is this format, right? DD, MYN, YYY. If it is the
Yeah.
UAE, it may be different formats, right? Just observe. I'm not sure what is the format, but maybe some different format, right? They may have. Are you getting?
Yeah.
So what happens is in the concurrent program, whatever the date format which you mention here, that is how the parameter will get passed to your concurrent program, to the to a
Okay.
query.
Okay.
So okay, see now assume that you have a customer and you want to design a report which should work for UAE, USA, and India. Each
Okay.
of the country is having different parameter. Each of these countries are having different time zone format. Now your query, let us say you are trying to display all POs which are created on a particular date, PO headers all, and you'll just mention where creation date is equal to. What do you mention now? Because it will be passed as a string. It will not be passed as date. It will be passed as a it will be passed as a string. You need to mention two underscore char, right? If you are not aware of
Hmm.
what format it is, how can you convert? And the one more thing is you cannot hardcode the format.
Yes.
You cannot hardcode the format because each country will have a different format and your report should work accordingly. Okay? So there is a
Yes.
very easy
Yes.
solution which is already available. It's nothing we need to invent. There's already a solution for this. So we just need to
Hmm.
use one of the function fnd canonical is there, something I don't remember, but we just need to use one of the function. So using that we can get the current user time zone format, and based on that you can just need to design. That's it. The only thing is now here the issue is you don't know what format, right? So here just need to mention the two under fnd canonical, some there is a function, I don't remember that, the syntax of that. You just need to mention fnd canonical function. Based on that, it will give you the current user time zone, and you can do the remaining process.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
fine for today. So we'll discuss more on tomorrow again.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. But then when they're submitting the request,
Mhm.
mm, once go to the submit request once.
Okay. Okay.
Submit.
Mhm.
The second column is there. How we have to display their operating unit name? Operating unit name there.
Second column name. Observe here. There is nothing we need to design. It all
Hmm.
depends upon the setup. Now let
Okay.
us say if I try to design PO details report. So let us say I'll select vision
Yeah,
operation,
we
something
can.
like this. And now
Yeah.
it will come by default here. If just maybe no, it is not showing, but somebody changed it.
It has to come. Yeah. Check that.
Generally it has to come, but why it is not coming?
I was asking that only. My doubt was that only.
No, it will come by default. It will come by default based on the setup.
Isn't you have to create any value set for that
That
again?
is, that is a seeded functionality. Why do you create a value set? This is not a parameter.
That,
Remember
yeah,
basic
yeah.
thing. This operating unit is not at all a parameter.
Okay.
It will just display the current organization parameter. It will just display the current your responsibility specific operating unit there. Now here I'll show
Yeah.
you.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I think after selection,
Hmm.
let us say I'll open purchase order form.
Okay.
Whenever you open any responsibility, all the responsibility specific context information will get initialized automatically. Now here it is showing vision operation because for the responsibility already OUID got set up. That's the reason it is showing vision operations by default. The same
Yes.
way, when you're trying to submit any concurrent program, by default for that
Hmm.
specific responsibility, you're all OU specific or any seeded profiles. There are a lot number of seeded profiles which will get initialized automatically.
Okay.
Now let us say, yeah, can you see? It is getting shown here, right? PO output for communication. I
Yes.
selected this. So there is some NLS, I think they would have selected this. There could be. Just see the concurrent program. Then have they not select anything, right? There is no specific extra thing. And they just mention NLS complaint, but in our case also it will be like that. We just see
Yes.
XXIF. Can you see? There is no difference in the parameter.
It is.
There is
Yeah.
no difference at all. Maybe the responsibility, I think, using SRS, was it there for us? I think, right? Yeah, it is there by default. So it came for that, but for us it is not showing, right?
Yes. Fine.
Okay, but one thing I can tell you is that why it is showing because of profile only. So, but why it is not coming in our cases, I need to dig out.
Yeah. Yeah. I have that one. That is only a major doubt for me.
That why it is coming, I know, but why it is not coming for our thing, I'm not sure. Why it is coming because of the profile, simple.
Okay.
And why it is working only one specific thing, that is where I even still have doubt. Okay.
Yeah. And today's the you have been took the parameters as an operating unit and a PO number, right? Like
Yeah.
org ID and PO header ID.
Yeah.
And how I have to take a range when according to my query, I have to define two value sets or one only in that only.
One is enough, right? One is enough. See, for your case, what you do is, let us say you define
Hmm.
XXIF viewer number value set, and this value set will be dependent upon your org-id value set, right? Org-id value set.
Yes, this one have,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I
but
have been created. Yeah.
so in your PO query, what you'll have PO headers all, or either PO headers or
Hmm.
headers all, either way. We'll just mention where
Hmm.
org-id is equal to colon p underscore PO org-id, and you will
Hmm.
and your segment one between p underscore PO from and p underscore PO2. So these both
Okay.
parameters, these both parameters will belong to same value set.
Okay. Same value set I can provide over there. Yeah.
Yes, yes, same value
The
sets.
one which you have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try to do that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
And one more thing, like I didn't get those examples. Yesterday you were telling that you will be
I'll
sending.
send it now. I forgot.
Send all me the PL SQL examples and that PO interface and item interface. Some you're having samples, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'll send it now.
Today I will practice a lot on that.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.